Green Team Media.
You pick him up in this third movie, his maturation has continued. He's now gone through 2 wars. He has sort of a bit of a PTSD thing going on top of the neurosis that was already instilled in him from youth and from his family. And he's in the middle of a new relationship, in the middle of joining the workforce, because the government can't just hire you as the guy who saved the world twice and put you in an office. So with all the credentials that he has, and after getting an award from the president, he goes off and seeking a job for his future. Sam finds comfort and solace in a woman who is an assistant at, she's a diplomatic assistant that Sam meets in the midst of his internships. And she's in the middle of an internship, and he meets her as he's walking out with his medal that he just got from the president, and meets this woman, and they develop a relationship, and she sort of is nurturing Sam, you know, who's just been out of 2 wars and needs some coddling, not from his parents, and doesn't need like the darker, you know, machine chop chick type of loving and nurturing. He needs like a lighter vibe, and he finds it in this woman who becomes sort of a champion for him. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it was a sandbox, essentially. We came into Chicago, we flew in, and the whole city was at our disposal. He would send rigging teams all over the city all the time, randomly, to go rig things, and they'd rope off the street, and it would be Transfomers property. I mean, it was everywhere. You know, even on my off days, I'd skateboard around, I'd see just rigging, random rigging everywhere, all taped off. I remember on Indiana Jones when we were filming in Yale. You know, Indiana Jones is a big movie to be around with. And, you know, people would fly in, and you'd have 60 or 70 people in the streets dressed up as Indy, you know, on the set, roped off. You get to Chicago, and there's 20,000 people in the streets, roped off. You feel like you're some kind of rock act. I felt like we were Steppenwolf. When we walk out there, I'm with Tyrese, you know, who is, you know, that, and is the, you know, big smile and sort of that guy. And he's playing the crowd and things. You know, I'm sort of shy. You know, it's wild to look out at a sea of 20,000 people watching you go to work. I've never experienced that before. We were on a gimbal rig that was at basically at 20 degrees for 3 weeks, sliding and sliding and sliding. It was like best 3 weeks of my whole life. In Chicago, basically, you got one street. It's Michigan Avenue. That's where the fight is. That's where it's all going down. Not a whole lot else to think about. Now just buckle in and be amazed. He's the greatest action director alive. There is nobody in cinema who films movies like Michael. He might be the best shooter of all time. I think it's without a doubt our best film. I think that the first movie is incredible because it's the discovery, but I think this is really the perfection of all elements. I think that everybody just fired on another level on this movie, and we all showed up coming out of like, you know, we're all prideful men, you know, and women. We all have a lot of pride, you know, and so everybody came to really play this time. It was a different vibe on set. Favorite scene? I mean, you know, all the scenes for different reasons. Like just Chicago, just in general, I'd never seen anything like that. So that was just on pure spectacle alone. Chicago was nuts. I think also, you know, all the scenes with my parents are always fun. And I think the job interviews with Malkovich and doing all that stuff was really fun. Like that whole job montage sequence is a lot of fun. And I also have this thing where, you know, the Decepticons are using humans. They're coaxing them and using them as tools. And so I have a transforming watch that basically punishes me anytime I step out of bounds, you know, of the realm of how they want me to conduct myself. And so it turns into this sort of Buster Keaton type sketch, you know, where I'm sort of, you know, there's a whole lot of physical comedy elements that play into Sam's neurosis. On top of the what's already there, there's also now this physical Buster Keaton type thing that we explore for a bit that's very fun, at least very fun for me.